really interesting earnings report. I don't know how big it really will be, but it's a pretty relevant bank for today's earnings report. And yeah, we're gonna get some stuff live here. We're doing the stream. Let me fix the mic. Give me a second, guys. Mic test test. The mic should be good now. Let me know if it is. And again, we're gonna try to stream this one. Tesla started to rebound. You can see it up there. We're gonna put the SPY and see kind of what other banks are doing, like JP Morgan. Kind of sideways, starting to rebound a little bit here. The earnings are scheduled to drop. Um, what's up, Sandy? I'm in. MS. What's up, team? The earnings are actually scheduled to drop. And we're gonna do a poll. Bull or bear on today's earnings reporting call. Bull or bear vote on the poll. We're gonna get some music playing as well here. I'm genuinely curious what kind of show up we're gonna get today. You know, it's kind of it's a company I've never covered with for earnings. You can see the stock on the left here. It's at 1570s right now. JP Morgan's starting to rip up, but it's a stock I've never actually covered with earnings. What's up, Kay? What's up, David? I'm for real. What's up, man? What's up, Sandy? Earnings go live at 4 p.m. They're supposed to go live sometime at 4 p.m. We can check, but it's going to be sometime around then. I don't know exactly what time. We also have a couple other earnings. We got Cleveland Cliffs, CLF, and FRC, Whirlpool. Tomorrow is when the really big earnings start, though. Like today is, like we got some stuff, but it's not like the craziest day. But tomorrow, hey, what's up, Kay? Thank you, brother. Yeah, I'll put the timer up here so we can see it. We don't actually know when the earnings are scheduled to drop. They're just scheduled to go sometime after the closing bell. So we're gonna make it. We got about 36 minutes. Until the earnings come out. So we'll put this up. We got JP Morgan on the right. JP Morgan's starting to make a run here. Kind of been in a nice little uptrend almost all day today with regards to the market itself. FRC at 1560s. Is there an argument for a buy here? I mean, what do you guys think? I'm learning chess. How did the knights move up 2 into the side? 1. So they go in a L shape. So they go up 2 and then to the side 1. So the L shape. All right, guys. So a little bit of a losing day for me. Hey, I appreciate the donation. FRC earnings are scheduled after 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. You think it'll go bullish? I really don't know. Yeah, knights are one of the most powerful pieces on the board, to be honest, because they add a little bit of randomness to it, you know? Like everything else, you can kind of use logic to um design good defense and good offense in chess with most of the other pieces. But the randomness of the knight, it does something that even the queen can't do. You know what I mean? So like, it's one of the more powerful pieces. It's a little tricky, is why it's powerful. It's because you don't really expect it, but yeah, I like strategy games. I'm a big poker player. I play chess, play checkers. You know. All right, we are in a little bit of a trade right now. You can kind of see we're up about $50 on this last little contract of the E-mini that we're holding here. Riding it up. We bought the pullback. Now we're kind of riding the bounce up. We're still down a little bit. We're down like $100 today or something small. I'm thinking about adding to it. We'll see how it goes. I want to let it try to run back up to the top of this range here. Dude, you'd probably beat me in chess. Like, I'm all right in chess. I'm not like the greatest though. Poker's a different story. Give me a big bankroll and poker's kind of my game. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what FRC does. Again, we're up about 75 here. Let me go ahead and cut this and just take the profit there. Yeah, we're not down much. We're down like $100. It's 3-1. No, it's not. It's 2-1. I mean, it depends on whether you consider your square. If you count that as one, it can move up to the next square and then the next square and then go over one square. You know. Right, for sure. You can jump over other pieces with the knight. You know. Yeah, it depends on if you're counting your square or not. Looks like getting out here was the right move on the E-mini. FRC still popping up a little bit, up to 1575 right now. We'll see if it holds at 1575. Yeah. No, I agree. I'm right there with you. All right. I got about 30 minutes, guys. 30 minutes. Big day tomorrow, man. Tomorrow, Microsoft. I think tomorrow, Microsoft and Google. So it'll be interesting to see what we get. Microsoft earnings tomorrow, and then Google earnings tomorrow as well. I got a little pullback here. You can see Tesla actually ripping up pretty big right now. All right, guys. So ketchup. Huh? Here, will you bring me like a plate with like some of the organic ketchup? Thank you, baby. I love you. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I'm about to eat. I'm hungry. All right. Yeah, it was the duck song. Anyways, so yeah, so FRC. I'm curious to see how this earnings report is going to turn out. I'm really curious. I'm wondering how many people are going to show up here and like what we're going to get with regards to FRC earnings here, man. It might affect the whole banking system, you know. Thank you, baby. It might affect the whole banking system here. That's the really interesting dynamic of this is like, okay, well, a lot of stuff has happened since the last time FRC reported earnings. You know, a lot of stuff with regards to banking, with regards to the market as a whole. And today's first quarter report is really the first time FRC is reporting their earnings since all the craziness happened. You know, that's a really interesting dynamic of today's earnings. And yeah, I'm genuinely curious to see what's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen here. I really don't know. I'm no idea. Looking at our poll numbers here, 48% are bullish, 52% are bearish. All right, we're going to do a Twitter poll as well. All right, so yeah, First Republic Bank. What are the other associated banks with this? JP Morgan. What do we got? JP Morgan. Bank of America, Wells Fargo. All right, do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already too. Hit that like button, bump that like number up. We appreciate it if you can. Take the time to hit the like button. Getting ready to do this poll right now. You can now go ahead and vote on the poll that we got live on our YouTube or on our Twitter. Yeah, I'm genuinely curious. The expectational numbers, and we'll put these up on screen so you can see them. But the expectational numbers are as follows here. First Republic, as Joshua put, I'm showing 72-cent expectation for FRC. FRC is expecting 72 cents in EPS. And again, if you don't understand what this is a gauge on profitability. $0.71 EPS, or 72 cent, I'm sorry, 72 cent EPS, which is, again, EPS is a gauge on profitability. How profitable is the company? Higher EPS relative to expectations, the more profitable the company ultimately is. They're expecting $1.15 billion in revenue. So again, how profitable is the company? We don't know. There is the data on the screen. And again, if we look up the macro trends version here, this is something I've been doing with every earnings report. So here is First Republic earnings. Here's the EPS gauge, right? So gauge on EPS. Trailing 12 months. So it actually had the first losing consecutive, or it had the first time hold on, let me see. Trailing 12 months. So wait, so that would mean this goes back. Okay, so yeah, so it made a little bit less over the last trailing 12 months than it did prior to that. And on a quarterly basis, last time it came in at 188. So this graph, if it comes in as expected here, this graph is going to go all the way back to here. So this graph is going to go all the way back to here. So, you know, it'll look like this. The next one will look like this. If it comes in as expected, the next one will look like that. So that's a pretty big pullback with regards to banking. And again, if we look at the actual long-term graph of this, it's a pretty rough drop, you know, since the banking crisis began. It's a pretty rough drop. You know, everything's down, pretty rough. Is there value in buying this up, guys? Is there value in buying this up? Again, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. Again, vote on the poll. Just already, we already got, most people are bullish on FRC, it looks like. So in about 1 minute, we just got about 40 votes on our Twitter page, about 40 votes in a minute. Okay, a large majority of them are profitable votes, bullish votes. 82.4% to be specific voted bullish on their poll, where we asked, is this bullish or bearish? 17.6% reported bearish. So a lot of engagement very, very quickly in terms of our Twitter poll. So it looks like a lot of people are wanting to see this here. If we look at the YouTube poll itself, only about 62 votes there. 52% are bearish, 48% are bullish. So more bears in YouTube than Twitter, but yeah, it'll be really interesting, guys. Again, FRC is up to 1580s, guys. 1580s. There's the longer term chart. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty cheap, especially relative to where it was. I mean, this thing was at $120, $130 a month and a half ago. Maybe less than that, a little bit less than that, actually. Really, about a month ago. Or no, I'm sorry, about a month and 3 quarters ago. This thing was at $120, $130, and so just based off of price. Over the last couple months, there's a huge price difference now, of course, with the banking crisis that happened. And I know a lot of people bought the dip. It's starting to actually rip up. It's at 1580s right now. I think there could be a bounce. I think with the easing in banking crisis, with the easing fears of the banking crisis going behind us now, I think there could be an argument for a bullish trade. Again, I really don't know. We'll see what happens. And again, vote in the poll. Looking at Twitter, we got more votes coming in. Again, 78.8% are bullish, 21.2% are bearish on this. So, yeah, interesting dynamic in the market today. Yeah, Tesla with the pullback though, but I mean, it had basically rebounded all the way back. Again, I sold mine this morning, and it looks like it was the right move to get out there. So I sold mine this morning, cut it this morning, but again, it looks like it was the right move. FRC starting to pump up. It's at 1580s right now, 1580s. So yeah, we'll see if we keep getting this pump up. All right, guys, FRC up to 1585s. The good news is that the actual earnings call is not going to be dragged out a long time. It's at 4:30. And again, we will stream the entire thing live right here. Tesla right around 163. Again, a lot of bulls for FRC. A lot of bulls. All right, guys. So FRC at almost $16 here. Will it break 16? I'm not sure. Looking at our voting numbers here. 52% are bearish on YouTube. 48% are bullish on Twitter. Again, a lot more engagement on Twitter. 81% are bullish. 18.8% are bearish. So bulls overwhelming Twitter posts and polls, but YouTube a little bit more bearish. I don't know. I mean, this will be a really interesting report. It really will be. Here goes FRC breaking highs again at 1590. Of course, this thing has ripped up big over the last couple days, especially today, leading into this earnings report. But, I mean, realistically, this thing was at $13, under $13 last week. So it's gone up a lot over the last couple days, but of course it's down more if you look at March levels, but we're still pumping up here. We're up to almost $16 right now, 16 bucks. About 100 people here. We still got about 15 or 20 minutes before the actual results come out. Looking at their revenue. So here's FRC's revenue. This FRC's revenue on the right side. You can see the trailing 12-month revenue has basically gone straight up. I don't know if they've had one that was less than the prior one in a long time. So this has been an exponential growth company. Wow. I don't know if they've ever had one that was not. Oh, wait. Let's see. 15. No, that was still more. Wait. I don't think they've ever had. Over the last 12 years, I don't think FRC has ever had a revenue year that was less than the previous one. But I'm assuming that's going to change today. They're expecting only 5.21 billion. So they're expecting, or no, they're still expecting very high revenue, highest revenue ever. Maybe because of inflation, I'm assuming. Or no, I'm sorry, 1.15. Yeah, so they are expecting much less. So they are expecting all the way back. My bad, I read it wrong. They are expecting essentially all the way back to. They're basically all the way back to here. So they are going to show up about right there. So this will look like this if they come in as expected. And again, we don't know. But they are going to take a hit. That's going to be their first ever consecutive losing. Well, we don't know about the year yet. But, you know, they have very rarely losing quarter relative to the previous one. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, Tesla starting to bounce back. Again, $16 is where we're at now. They just broke $16. Look, they just tapped $16. Still pushing up. Let's see if they break. I should have waited before buying Tesla. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is what it is, man. It happens. Tesla over 163s, though. Still pumping up, though. Look at this. Market's actually ripping up as well. 1605s for FRC. E-mini at 4160s, just tapped over highs. FRC over 16. Let's see if 16 holds, man. A lot of Twitter votes. Again, about 81% bullish on Twitter, about 19% bearish. So a large majority of bulls on Twitter. Again, in terms of YouTube votes, we got about 52% bearish. So still pretty split down the middle. A little bit more bears than bulls on YouTube, but not by much. Again, forgive me for eating here. I'm starving. FRC dipping down under $16. Let's see if that $16 level holds its support now. Still got about 12 minutes. All right, guys. Back up to test highs again at 1605s for FRC. Tesla still at 163s. Trying to make a rebound here, but again, it's kind of been a tough day where we dipped down a lot at the open and then bounced back. Kind of choppy, though, and flat. We did have a big breakdown earlier in the day. The S&P 500 just ripped up to 412, 413.50s. A big pullback just happened on the SPY. I don't know why. Dipped from about 412.60s all the way down to 411.90s. And then it kind of retraced a little bit at the previous closing price. Do y'all see any large blue chips that are dipping down some? I'm trying to see why. Apple. Still consolidating here, but not Microsoft, not Apple, not Google, not Amazon. Anybody know what caused the big pullback in the SPY? That huge red candle? It's kind of the biggest candle we've had all day. Almost. It's close to the biggest candle we've had all day. I'm not sure why, though. It kind of retraced pretty fast. FRC starting to dip down at 16s. Just dipped under 16. Yeah, maybe. Maybe JP Morgan related. Nvidia, no, Nvidia's not really down enough. It's at 270s, but it's not quite down enough to really make it, a thing. Maybe. Yeah, it might be rebalancing. A couple people are saying. Makes sense. The call is scheduled for 4:30, I guess. So that's in about 30 minutes. I guess we can stream it and just kind of see what happens. It depends on what kind of numbers we get, though. Moving back up to test 16. Walmart testing highs again as well. Just kind of broke highs of the day. All right, guys, FRC at 16. NVIDIA dipping down under that range. SPY basically bounced straight back. Again, we're just waiting for the FRC report. We got about 150 people here. I'm pretty sure they're going to release it right at the closing bell for FRC, but they didn't really specify, to be honest. Let me look to see on their website to see if we get any more details and information regarding this. We also have CLF earnings today. If we can find the FRC data. All right, so there's the First Republic Bank investor presentation. Are they doing a call? All right, so at 4:30, in about 35 minutes, they're supposed to release their numbers, or they're supposed to do their conference call. I don't know when they're actually supposed to release their numbers, though. Let's take a look. I don't know if it might move the banking stock some, which then in turn could move the markets, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. We got the call scheduled. Oh, wait. Okay, that's past events. Yeah, so this is going to be... All right, so we're waiting, and we're already waiting for the call. It starts in about 30 minutes. FRC over 16. NVIDIA back up there. And again, we can look at like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. What's the most trending stock with this? Bank of America. Walmart just broke highs. SPY right around the previous closing price, so basically flat on the day. And again, I'm going to assume that they're going to release theirs right at the closing bell. Not 100% sure. Still consolidating around $16, but FRC has bounced back like a solid amount, to be honest. Like, this is a pretty big bounce back. Damn, those chart prime indicators I purchased on Friday have made me a killing today. Yeah, man, they're powerful, bro. Like, they work. At least for me, at least. I can't guarantee they're going to work for anybody, of course, but they can be very useful. All right, guys, FRC over 16s. TA looking bullish. Yeah, it's interesting. 3 minutes, guys. Again, I don't know exactly when the earnings are going to be released. I'm not sure like exactly when they're supposed to come out, but it's supposed to be sometime after the closing bell. So after 4 p.m. So we got about 3 minutes until that happens. Again, not 100% sure when their earnings are actually specifically going to drop. But yeah. So yeah, after market close, they're confirmed. They never specified when or at what exact time. A lot of times companies will give you an exact time. But they haven't specified when. We've got all our sources up. We're ready to report the results. So just bear with us, guys. 20 or 2 minutes. And then we know what time the call is going to be. So the call is going to be again at 4:30. So we know exactly when that's going to be. We just don't know exactly when their earnings are actually going to come out. And we got about 2 minutes before the market closes. We know it's going to be sometime after the closing bell, but again, we don't know exactly how much time. They're expecting 72-cent EPS in profits. So 72-cent EPS, it's a pretty big drop relative to what they reported before. Again, if you look at like their EPS graph, which we've been looking at today, which is again is profitability. Here is the let me see what this is. This is EPS. Yeah, so you can see they're expecting 72-cent EPS. So that's a pretty big drop. You know, the last time they reported, the last quarter, $1.88 per share in EPS. So they're expecting 72 cents. So they're going way down. They're going over 50% down in terms of expectational numbers for EPS, and their revenue's not looking much better as well. There's a big dip in FRC. Still haven't, we still got about a minute before the market closes. And then again, we can look at their revenue. Their revenue's taken a pretty big hit too. They're at 1.96, not as big of a hit as their EPS. They're expecting about 1.15 in EPS. Big drop, big pullback though. Let's see if this is related to their numbers coming out. I don't see anything yet. Let me know. You can hear the music, right? Team, you should be able to hear the music. All right, guys, 30 seconds. Again, we don't know what time they're going to come out. We got Bank of America on the right. Here's FRC. Right around $16. Expecting pretty big misses, or expecting pretty big drops relative to the previous quarter in both EPS and sales. And so, yeah, we don't know what we're going to get. Yeah, it could be people scared, of course. We're right around $16 now for FRC. Pretty sideways action here. 5 seconds before the market closes, and then it's basically any time. We got 30 minutes before the actual earnings call, but we don't know when the actual earnings are going to drop specifically here. So, all right, so there's the closing bell. Market is closed, effectively closed. Again, Bank of America at 29.70s. I'm also going to go ahead and throw it in sub-only mode. So if you haven't already, or actually we'll leave it for now. All right, there's FRC pumping up. 615s did they release? Yeah, but nice positive move. Big pop-up, 1630s. 1640s. I don't see anything yet, but big gap up in after hours. 1640s, 1650, just tapped. Big move. Retracing a little bit. We'll get the timer out the way. I don't see anything yet. I can look on Twitter. Sometimes Twitter's pretty good at covering it. I think this is just ahead of the news. Big drop at $16 now. All right, now we're starting to get some action here. 1570s, 1580s. FRC with a big turn here. Nothing yet with regards to earnings report, kind of sideways so far. Just kind of sitting back waiting. Yeah, big range right now, man. It's gone up and down about it's gone up and down about 4 or 5% already in about 3 minutes in after hours. So pretty big range so far here. Up and down, maybe a little bit over that, maybe like 7% or so. Back over 16s. I'm going to put up JP Morgan. Not the biggest mover. Maybe Wells Fargo. Citigroup. All right, so starting to pop back here. Back up to 1620s right now, 1620s. Again, nothing yet in terms of earnings. All right, starting to pop over the or testing pre-market high right now at about 1650, right at that $0.50 level. They say technicals don't work, but you can kind of see like $0.50 do hold sometimes. 1660s right now just broke the pre-market high, almost 1670s. Still no earnings yet. No earnings are out yet. We do know one thing is that the actual earnings call is going to be live, and we'll stream the whole thing at 4:30. Yeah, I don't know PS. I don't know why it's moving like that, man. A big range. That's all I'm saying is a big range. Again, we are putting it in sub-only mode, team. So if you haven't already, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. All right, again, consolidating at a range here. We do have this range. So we know earnings aren't out yet because we're still in kind of this choppy, sideways, neutral range. Kind of just hanging out waiting for the report to go live. Still no report yet. We know at least we're going to get it in about 25 minutes. So I'll do a timer here. So we'll go ahead and do a timer. We know we're going to come out in about 25 minutes or so. We'll go ahead and call it 25 minutes. All right. 25 minutes. Hey, good luck. Roy, Ron, PS, Shmi, Ricky, Joseph, Robert, Sean. All right, big pop up to 1685s now, guys. 1685s. And then a big rejection. This is probably the earnings report out. I'm assuming this is going to be the earnings report out. We're not 100% sure. Let's check again. Tap the previous closing price. Okay, so yeah, they are out here. Revenue was 1.2 billion. Revenue came in at 1.2 billion, guys. That is versus 1.15 billion expectation. So higher than expected revenue. Again, they are out with theirs. Higher than expected revenue. EPS came in at 123, which was noticeably better than expected. EPS 123. Income came in at 1.23 million here. So better than expected all the way around. I don't know why they're dipping down. Maybe I could buy this up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take 25 shares. These numbers came in pretty solid. 25 shares seems reasonable, I think. We're going to put the numbers up. 123 EPS versus 85 cent estimates. Sales of 1.2 billion versus 1.15 billion estimates. So yeah, we went ahead and bought a little bit. We'll put the numbers up on screen here so you can see it. There's the data right there. Give it a little bit of time to process the earnings. Again, it had better than expected EPS, better than expected sales. For a pretty beat down company, you would think they would be pretty solid. I mean, I know they were very cautious estimates, very conservative estimates. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Again, better than expected EPS, better than expected sales. Net interest income came in at $923 million, which was down about 19.4%. 19.4%. So we're right at the previous closing price here. Yeah, I don't know why the drop is happening. I really don't. But again, better than expected EPS, better than expected sales. First quarter book value per share came in at 76.97. 76.97. First quarter net income came in at 269 million. They also put out some posts here. They said, quote, and again, we'll try to maybe just hold this one. We'll try to let it sit. It said recent industry events beginning in March of 23 have impacted the bank's funding sources. They said that with closure of several banks in March, we experienced unprecedented deposit outflows. Total deposits as of March 9th down 1.7% from the year end of 2022. That is probably what's causing these drops. Let's see how it affects banks. Let's see how it's going to affect everything else. Citigroup, JP Morgan, Bank of America. We're going to add a little bit to this. Just add it a little bit more. See if we get a little bounce from the earnings report. Yeah, rug pull, I don't know. We bought a little bit. Bullish for Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's moving up a little bit, actually. They said the bank first quarter common deposit or common equity tier 1 ratio was 9.32%. 9.32%. The bank expects to reduce its workforce by approximately 20 to 25% in the second quarter. Again, reduce its workforce. They're going to lay off about 20 to 25% of the company. And the bank is pursuing strategic options to expedite its progress while reinforcing its capital position, end quote. And again, this is First Republic Bank. All right, so far we got a little bounce. We're pretty neutral in this. I mean, we're down like $20, but we can let it work a little bit more. They said bank year-over-year loans came in at 173.3 billion, up 22.6%. 22.6%. So interesting. And again, we got the full earnings call going live pretty soon. Starting to bounce back a little bit here. Bitcoin popped back up. FRC back up to almost $15 here. And now we're pretty flat. We're flat in the trade so far. They forgot to say A high. Yeah. All right, big rebound all the way back to $15 here for First Republic. I wonder what they're going to say during their actual earnings call here. We'll see what they say. Their earnings call comes out in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes until their earnings call. And again, we will stream the whole thing. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Back up to basically $15 right now for First Republic over the previous closing price. Still technically green on the day. And I think one of the things that could be affecting this is just extension from the push-up that it's had over the last couple of days. This thing has moved up a lot over the last few days in anticipation of this earnings report. And so, you know, it's not really a huge surprise that we dip a little bit once the actual earnings come out, if that makes sense. So, again, still got time. Watching Citigroup, JP Morgan, all the other bank stocks move. Yeah, big caps are the big caps are what you like. A lot of new traders get into speculative penny stocks. Most of them are terrible companies. Like most of the you want safe profit. Most of the time, investing in large blue chip companies and just sitting on them for years is the single easiest way to make money in the financial markets overall. Single easiest way for sure. But they're not as exciting. Like a lot of people just want to kind of gamble it away, and so it is what it is. All right, so there we go. We are up solidly here. We're going to go ahead and lock a little bit of this profit in already. Took a little bit more off here. So now no matter what, we're not going to be red on the trade. Green trade all the way around today is effectively scaled out of this position now. And now we can just kind of let this work. Hopefully get some good news from their earnings report and call, or their earnings call. And we'll see. FRBK, Republic Bank. I don't know. There might be some misunderstanding with regards to like the names, but I don't know. I don't think FRBK is really moving much, regardless of anything. I think they're pretty tight in their range. So. FRC still popping up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more off just to lock in some more here. It's never really a problem taking profit, and the safer I can get myself into one of these positions, you know, the better it is. There we go. And so we'll let the rest ride. Let the earnings call play out. People always judge me for these dip buys, but honestly, they're one of the easiest trades to get in, man. Every time I do it, people complain. Cliffs drop their numbers too. And maybe not every time because nobody's complaining now, which is good. At least maybe people at home can kind of see. The real winners of this are the long-term dip buys, though, that maybe have been buying it over the last couple of days. FRC has made a huge move. I mean, it hit lows at 1250s back mid-March or mid-April. So to tap 16 today and to kind of continue pushing up towards these levels, still pretty solid. All right, we got the full call going live here. All right, guys. So again, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. You can see the timer in the top right of the screen. Another extended dip buy. Again, it just kind of works really well, in all honesty. On 13 years average. Hey, good job, Joe. Yeah, I mean, the dip buy just work, man. I mean, again, I think people are starting to probably understand now why I do it. I don't want anybody to copy me necessarily. It's not really something that I want people to copy me. I just hope people understand, like, I day trade, guys. Like, I day trade regularly, you know, but I make far more money swing trading, extended pullbacks after earnings and other stuff too. I make so much more money just kind of waiting for large emotional pullbacks, buying up the dip, establishing a position, and just letting it ride back. Green on the year doing it. Green and Thinkorswim doing it. Again, it just works really well. I'm just happy. I'm curious to see how much I'm going to make this year doing this. But the accuracy is genuinely crazy. Like, I need to scale up in size a little bit, I think. But the accuracy, generally crazy. Solid. Again, I don't want anybody copying me or anything like that. But again, it can be just powerful, you know. Got a little pullback now. I'm going to let it ride. I want to see the earnings report come out first, or the earnings call come out. See if they say something positive. Generally, earnings calls are positive. Not always, though. Like, you never know for sure, but, like, generally, earnings calls can be powerful. Right at $15, right around $15. Yeah, and on Chart Prime, honestly, I've been playing around with these indicators. So Chart Prime is a sponsor of mine, but I have been playing around with these indicators. So, like, here's a 5-minute chart, and this can just be powerful. Like, look, every candlestick represents five minutes. So it gives you these reversal signals, and you can use them in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Reversal up signal here. Look at the huge bounce you get over hours. Reversal down signal here. Again, every candlestick's 5 minutes. So this is like 30 minutes of drops after that reversal signal. Even here, you get a little bit of a bounce back up. You keep kind of looking back to see this. Look at the bearish engulfing candle, literally called the top. People underestimate how good just basic candlestick patterns are. And again, you can kind of see this bearish engulfing candle, huge drops over 15 minutes. Again, bearish engulfing candle here, drops over the next 10 minutes. And again, you can use them on any time frame. You can keep going back here and kind of scroll back and look at this. Look, reversal down, drop, reversal up, bounce, reversal down, drop, reversal up, bounce. 5 minute might be the most accurate one in all honesty. And you can use them on hourly time frames, all that stuff in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Again, it's called Chart Prime. I'll put the link up. They are a sponsor of mine, so I'm biased in their favor. But I mean, $35 a month, super cheap for what they give you, I think. Here's the link if you want to check it out. So many studies show TA doesn't work. Well, it depends on your time frame, Liam. Technical analysis certainly works. Again, I'm green on the year swing trading, right? And sure, some of it is fundamental, but a lot of it is technical based. And I'll explain exactly how I do it too. Number one is that a large majority of people will fail trading. It doesn't matter if it's day trading, swing trading, investing, or it doesn't matter if it's day trading or swing trading. Most people are going to lose. But the way I do it is I base it off of extension and emotion. Like I have a large enough account where I can throw around, some money, but still keep my risk small, and use small discrepancies to profit is essentially what I do. And again, I just look for extended pullbacks. Like I look for ranges in healthy companies. Like they need to be healthy. FRC is about as weak as a company as I'll ever trade. So I don't even like FRC like that, but it's healthy enough for me to do it on, but it's kind of an outlier. Most of the time I'm doing it on like Disney, Google, Snapchat, Apple, Amazon, stuff like that. And I just look for big pullbacks after earnings reports. I look for sizable pullbacks after earnings reports, and then I buy it and I sit. And it needs to be extended. Like for Disney, here's an example of Disney, right? If we look at Disney here, I look for objectively cheap levels that I will consider holding it long term if I need to. Like Disney, when it dipped down here, I was calling buy all day at 87, at 90, all right here. I was saying this is objectively cheap. And again, people kind of talk smack, but it's a mix of fundamentals. I'm using technicals with regards to like extension, like big, large emotional pullbacks after decent fundamental releases. So Amazon dropped, Amazon a couple quarters ago dropped like 20% from mixed results. It wasn't even bad results. It was mixed results. And so when they dropped that 15, 20%, I bought the dip and wrote it back up like 10% in like a week or two, 10 or 15%. So I'm using a mix of technicals, but they do work. Like extension works. Extension works. Whole dollar pullbacks work. It's just most people aren't going to have the discipline to actually follow them, So buy the dip after the first 5 minutes. I've already bought the dip and taken profit. Who said that? Raphael. So I've already bought the dip and taken profit. I'm in a little bit now, but it's not a big position. And no matter what, it's going to be green at this point in time. So I bought the dip down here. My average right now on FRC is 1385. So I got in right here to show you where I buy the dip. 1385, bro. I timed that dip, dude. Look at that. I caught it right here. This is where I entered. Literally 1385, which is right here. So, you don't believe me? I mean, it's a small trade, but look, 1385 is my average price here. So somehow I caught that dip, but we'll see if it keeps working. Yeah, I mean, I'm not lying. Again, here's a picture of my TOS graph. I'm not that good at Photoshop, bro. You can even see I don't even have Photoshop up. Like, look, if I get rid of all this stuff, hold on. Yeah, I don't even have Photoshop up. You can look at the bottom of my screen. I'm not that good at Photoshop, bro. But yeah, I literally got that fill. So shout out to TOS for the good fill. We'll give it time to bounce back, but What's your prediction for FRC as a company? Does it depend on what the earnings call says today? Well, most of the numbers are already out. I would say. So like the numbers are already out. Like they're gonna try to pump themselves up because any stock in their earnings call is kind of like a big hype call, and that's okay. Like that's kind of what all stocks do in that situation, is kind of pump themselves up. So the numbers are already out. So when you look at FRC in terms of like health, like general company health, I think you got to look at it like they're going to bail it out if it fails, and they have already. And so when you're betting on FRC long term now, you're essentially betting on how well they can rebuild themselves. And I don't know. I don't know if they can or not. I know, like, relative to where they were prior to all this stuff, they're very, very cheap relative to their, previous price over in March. In March, they were at 120 bucks. They're at 15 now. So in terms of just cheap value, again, I don't mind taking a position that I'm okay with losing if it goes against me, but I think taking big positions can be risky in that situation just because, there is a chance that they fail over the long run. But short term, I don't know. Again, it's unlikely that they go to zero, and you'll still probably have time to cut it. But yeah, just be careful. I guess the point is it's not established enough to where it's completely safe. But I think, there's objective value at these levels, most likely just based off of previous prices. But who knows, man? Again, don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose. I might have no idea what I'm talking about and might be wildly wrong about everything. Don't copy me. Show task manager. I mean, I don't need to. I can if you really want me to. I don't know if I necessarily want people to see. Make sure there's no like details you can steal from my task manager. No, I don't think there is. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, FRC down to 1480s. Again, earnings call starts in about 6 minutes. We got about 6 minutes, guys. Some what stuff, Liam? What are you talking about, bro? In the background? I mean, I got Epic Pen, my cool little pen software that's been telling me it needs an update for a week now that I can draw, Aside from that, I mean, I got basic stuff, Telegram, for like sponsors and affiliate talk and all that stuff. Nothing too crazy. All right, guys, earnings call starts in about 5 minutes. Yeah, no, it's all good. No Photoshop. Oh, my music? Bro, don't hate my music, man. All right. And I'm glad we got a little bit of people here. We don't have a ton, but that's all right. Honestly, I don't know if I would even stream it if if they didn't have their earnings call in 5 minutes. I don't know if I'd stream it. That's just waiting too long. Yeah, the only thing I'll have running in the background is like, I might play a little bit of poker in the background. Yeah, they're just kind of trolling me. Smokies. It's all good, man. Y'all play poker too? Oh, dude, I love poker. How about that Berkey Nick Airball drama going on in the poker world right now? I see it all over my Twitter. Nick Airball called Berkey a scam artist because he had like a trading content course or whatever it was. And I get it. I call people scams all the time in trading because, there's a bunch of scammers in trading. But poker, Berkey's obviously good. He got like number 4 in the airdrop, like high roller. Like Berkey's obviously good, So like whoever calling Berkey a scam artist, they ended up playing heads up, and at this point in time, Berkey's up like hundreds of thousands of dollars on Nick Airball. So basically, the dude calling him the scammer lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to the guy that he accused of scamming people. Basically, he said he wasn't good enough as a poker player to sell a course or content, and then he played him in heads up, and then Berkey, the guy that was accused of being a scammer, ended up winning hundreds of thousands of dollars off of the guy. So poetic karma, You love to see it. Social Security, yeah. All right, guys. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes, team. Give your boy a follow on Twitter if you haven't already. We got 99 votes on our Twitter page. 99 votes on the FRC stuff. Again, help my OCD a little bit. I can't stand it. 99. Where's the Red Balloon song at? Somebody vote. Get this 99 thing out of my head. FRC at 1480s. 1480s. Trying to bounce back, kind of consolidating over the previous closing price. Again, the earnings call will influence all of this. Again, we'll see what happens. But still 99 votes. Somebody vote on the poll. There's the link in chat, guys. All right, back up to almost $15 for FRC. Starting to get a little pop back up. I bought 9 shares this morning at $33 when it first crashed, thinking it was done. Then it went to 40. Then it went to 12. Did you stay in it all the way down to 12? Because that's a lot. All right, almost to 15. Why is Disney up here? Okay. Let's look at the SPY here. Earnings call starts at about a minute, guys. We got 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me mute the music here real quick. We're going to turn the music off and get this ready here. And then we're going to stream the full First Republic earnings. All right, get it started now. I actually like their whole music though. All right, we're waiting here, guys. We're waiting for the numbers to come out. We're waiting for the earnings report to the earnings call to start. No, FRC call is not live yet. It should go live in about 20 seconds here. All right, let's get the timer off. All right, waiting for the call to start, guys. Waiting for the call to start. It should go live anytime now. All right, it says please wait. Sound check.
Today's conference is being recorded. During today's call, the lines will be in a listen-only mode. I would now like to turn the call over to Mike Iannelli, Vice President and Director of Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Before we begin, please note that our remarks include forward-looking statements. Information about these statements are available in the earnings press release and the bank's FDIC filings, all available on the bank's website. The forward-looking statements reflect our current views about future events and financial performance and are subject to risks, uncertainties, assumptions, and changes in circumstances, a number of which have increased as a result of recent developments that may cause our actual results to differ materially from historical results and those expressed or implied in any forward-looking statement. Forward-looking statements made on this call speak only as of today and will not be updated. Given the events of March, we are withdrawing all previously communicated financial guidance. Please note that there will be no question and answer session following our prepared remarks. And now, I would like to turn the call over to Mike Roffler, CEO and President.
Thank you, Mike. On today's call, we'll discuss the events in March, actions to strengthen our business, and first quarter results. Since our founding, First Republic has been fully committed to serving our clients and communities. Over the past 7 weeks, as we were impacted by industry events, our commitment to delivering exceptional client service has not wavered. We continue to meet our clients' banking and wealth management needs, as we always have. I'd like to take a moment to thank our colleagues for their commitment to First Republic and their uninterrupted service of our clients and communities throughout this challenging period. Their dedication is inspiring. I would also like to reiterate our appreciation for the group of America's largest banks who placed $30 billion in uninsured deposits with us, as well as for our state and federal regulators who have continued to provide us with expert support. Lastly, I would also like to thank our clients for their ongoing advocacy. Despite the uncertainty of the past 2 months, and while average account sizes have decreased, we have retained over 97% of client relationships that banked with us at the start of the first quarter. We are grateful for our clients who continue to place their trust in First Republic. Let me now discuss our current funding. As the industry events unfolded in March, we experienced unprecedented deposit outflows. Beginning the week of March 27th, our deposits stabilized, and they have remained stable since that time. As of March 31st, and excluding deposits from the large banks, insured deposits were $54.6 billion, or 73% of total deposits. Uninsured deposits were $19.8 billion, or 27% of total deposits. Consumer deposits represented 52% of total deposits. Total deposits as of April 21st, including the $30 billion received from the large banks, were $102.7 billion, down only 1.7% from the end of the first quarter. This slight decline from March 31st reflects seasonal client tax payments that occur each April. In response to the unprecedented deposit outflows we experienced toward the middle of March 2023, we accessed additional liquidity to ensure we could serve client needs. Our ability to do so swiftly was supported by the outstanding credit quality of our loan portfolio. Total borrowings peaked on March 15th at $138.1 billion. At that time, we had $34 billion of cash and cash equivalents available on our balance sheet. We have since repaid a portion of our borrowings. As of March 31st, total borrowings have declined to $106.7 billion, and we had $13.2 billion of cash and cash equivalents available on our balance sheet. Importantly, as of April 21st, we had $45.1 billion of unused available borrowing capacity and cash on hand. This available liquidity is more than 2 times our uninsured deposits, excluding the $30 billion of uninsured deposits received from the large banks. Turning to credit, strong credit quality has been a pillar of First Republic, and the strength of our portfolio was demonstrated again this quarter. During the first quarter, we had net recoveries of approximately $200,000. Non-performing assets ended the quarter at only 6 basis points of total assets. Given the current industry focus on commercial real estate, I want to note that our total commercial real estate portfolio represents only 6% of total loans and has an average loan-to-value ratio of just 46%. Turning to capital, we remain well capitalized with a Tier 1 leverage ratio of 8.25%, a Common Equity Tier 1 ratio of 9.32%, and a total risk-based capital ratio of 12.71% at quarter end. As previously announced, and as a matter of prudent capital management, we have suspended dividends on all common and preferred stock. Turning to wealth management, during the quarter, assets under management increased 7%, including $11 billion of net client inflows. Following recent industry events, wealth management assets from teams that have departed were responsible for less than 20% of total wealth management assets as of March 31st, 2023. However, we anticipate retaining a portion of the wealth management assets associated with departing teams. As of April 21st, 2023, First Republic has retained nearly 90% of wealth professionals. This is a testament to the terrific wealth management franchise our talented teams have built over the years. We remain fully committed to our integrated banking and wealth management model and the unique benefits it provides to clients. Though we face challenges and uncertainties, with the stabilization of our deposit base and the strength of our credit quality and capital position, we continue to take steps to strengthen our business. First, we are focusing on increasing our deposits. We are doing so by focusing on insured deposits from new consumers, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations. We are also focused on serving our existing clients by providing off-balance sheet liquidity solutions, as well as educating on and optimizing their FDIC insurance options. And we are leveraging our preferred banking offices, which remain an important channel for driving deposit growth. Going forward, uninsured deposits will remain a much smaller percentage of total deposits than in the past. Second, we are working to decrease our loan balances to correspond with our reduced reliance on uninsured deposits. We are doing so by moderating our loan volumes, and we are focusing on originating loans to sell in the secondary market. We intend to retain servicing on these loans, as we always have, so that we remain the primary point of contact for our clients. Through these actions, we intend to reduce the size of our balance sheet, reduce our reliance on short-term borrowings, and address the challenges we continue to face. Third, we are taking steps to meaningfully reduce our expenses to align with our focus on reducing the size of the balance sheet. These expense reductions are designed in a way that supports our continued focus on client service and does not affect our regulatory and risk-related support and controls. Actions underway include significant reductions to executive officer compensation as previously disclosed, condensing corporate office space within our markets, and reducing non-essential projects and activities. With reductions in projects, activities, and loan volume, we expect to reduce the size of our workforce by approximately 20 to 25% during the second quarter. This will be an incredibly difficult decision to make, and we are committed to doing so with respect and care for our colleagues. In addition to the actions I've outlined, we are pursuing strategic options to expedite our progress while reinforcing our capital position. I also want to underscore the key aspects of our business that will remain unchanged. These include operating a simple and straightforward business model focused on delivering exceptional client service, working collaboratively to meet the banking and wealth management needs of our clients, maintaining consistently high credit quality, and serving and creating opportunity within our communities. During 2022, First Republic dedicated $4.8 billion in lending and investment capital to support underserved and underrepresented communities. It is a privilege to serve our clients and help drive economic growth within our communities. We are grateful for the continued support and thank everyone for joining today's call.
This concludes today's call, and thank you for your participation. You may now disconnect.
Okay, guys, so I guess that's it. Did they just kind of end it at a random spot? It seemed a little bit random to me where they ended it, but hey, that's it for today, guys. Again, check out our sponsors, hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow we got a bunch of earnings. We got Microsoft, Google earnings tomorrow. We will stream the entire thing just like today. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Also, check out TopStep. They're one of our sponsors, and so I'm certainly biased in their favor. But if you want to day trade and you don't have the money to do it yourself, like you don't have over 25K, if you're trying to do it in stocks, you can trade the futures market. In the futures market, you can trade gold, silver, currencies. You can trade the E-mini, which is like an index fund, basically 500 of the largest stocks in the world into one fund, influenced by economic data, all that good stuff. You can day trade that in futures with no PDT restriction. And TopStep is the most legit futures funded program in the world. They give you a demo, they test your skill, and just taking the challenge builds your skill. It makes you a better trader. Most people are going to lose, but again, it builds you into a better trader. And you would probably lose much more if you tried doing the same thing with real money. And so you kind of have less risk. But if you can pass the testing, you still keep 90% of your profit. And they pay out millions every year. They fund thousands of traders a year. Again, most legit way to get around the PDT rule. Most professional day traders day trade futures. And if you want to check it out, they are a sponsor of mine. There's the link right there. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. We'll be back tomorrow bright and early. So yeah, I appreciate everybody joining me today. Love you all. You can't trade stocks, but you can trade essentially the S&P 500, Bobby. So you can trade index funds. Very useful. Very useful. Basically allows you to get around the PDT rule, day trade essentially the S&P 500 in what's called the E-mini, or you can trade the NASDAQ. Again, you can trade currency pairs, so essentially like a form of Forex. As long as the bottom pair is the US dollar, you can trade all that stuff. And so pretty cool way to get around the PDT rule. Check out the link in the description. Good luck. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.